Emma and I's shared skill was time management. We performed our study over 3 weeks. During week 1, we asked students to color a time management chart with various categories like work and school. Then week 2, we had them fill out the same chart and we gave them time management information such as you should get 8 to 9 hours of sleep. The third week, we asked students to fill out a questionnaire. This questionnaire is what we use to evaluate the effectiveness of our study and if students found coloring our charts helpful.
The first question asked students what ways they were able to effectively manage their time. The majority of the students would either set aside a certain time for studying or the other aspects of their life. Besides studying, relaxation also seemed to play an important role in the days of the students and was something they were always trying to find room for. Studying and relaxation came to be the most constant thought on the minds of college students. It seems to be something that they are lacking, but is also something they really want to achieve. Finding the balance between the two is something they are trying their hardest to do, which is typical for most college students.
Question 2 asked students about where they struggle with their time management skills. An answer we got was over planning, which just means adding too much to your plate and not being able to complete it all. Another answer we received was TV and social media were a big distraction. So that's something all college students really struggle with, is the getting a text from a friend and be like, oh, like I'm going to look at this instead of studying for my tests and exams. Last minute schedule changes was another answer. So if a friend says, hey, like let's go out to eat or let's go to the beach, you're going to do that instead of studying because that's way more fun. Procrastination was also another answer, which is an expected answer from this study. So just being able to start early and not waiting till the last minute will really help that one.
The third question asked about ways a student can improve their weaknesses. Improving the struggles students have with time management required a lot more commitment on the student's part. Sticking to a planned schedule and staying focused during the certain activities such as studying seemed to improve the likelihood of the student being successful if they were able to just sit down and just do it. Having a flexible or even a backup schedule also helps with the consistency of the student because plans change, especially in college. So it's always good to have some sort of a backup whenever you're planning out your day.
Question 4 asked students what they changed from chart 1 to chart 2. Most students said that not much changed, only like minor aspects. So maybe like a column for studying got bigger, like they added, we also received answers about students putting that they added more time to sleep to their schedule, so maybe going to bed earlier instead of watching Netflix or Hulu, and more personal care time, so giving yourself that time to relax or take a nap.
The fifth question asked the students if they found the visual chart helpful and in what ways. The charts were helpful in the sense that it allowed for the students to have a visual of their week that was easily accessible at any time. During this project, the students were encouraged to keep their chart with them or put them up someplace where they can look at it every day. Allowing for the students to color the schedule was also seen as a benefit because it let the students relax, because coloring is always fun, and it's something we don't really get to do too much in college. Some students, though, did not find the chart successful because it did the same job as a planner, or it did not change what they did on a daily basis because they already had a set routine.
The last question asked students if the stats they received during week 2 were helpful in building their new weekly schedule. The majority of students said that it was good information to have, but that it didn't affect them too much, or it's something they already knew, so they didn't feel the need like, oh, like it says I need 8 to 9 hours of sleep, like I'm going to add that to my schedule. Most students didn't feel that, or they already knew the information. So giving them the stats, I'd say, was still a good idea, but it didn't serve its intended purpose in helping students change their schedules from week 1 to week 2.
In conclusion, the overall effectiveness of these charts really depends on if the student is willing to change when presented the opportunity. This can be very difficult because students are already going through a big change by being in college, especially freshman and first-year students. While it is difficult to change, it can be extremely beneficial to academic and personal success. Time management, while it can be difficult, is certainly not impossible when you have the right mindset and really put your mind towards change.